Now it's like real life starts up again, but proud of the guys.
What do you say about defense is a thing you've been harping on since you've been here, but to see it starting to happen with some regularity, what do you say?
Yeah, it's the buy-in. It's some tactical things, but it's good defensive teams try really hard, and that's what we do. We try hard, and we're not perfect all the time, but we do try, and the defense is coming. I mean, 2 really good defensive games against 2 really good teams is something to be proud of, but also something to build on.
Jae'Sean is, obviously one of the best athletes in the league, but this year, where have you seen him become a more complete offensive player?
The pull-ups are good. The free throws are huge. I think that's probably the biggest one, is him getting downhill and then finding contact and getting to the free throw line. Also finding ways to get to the free throw line when we're in the bonus, which is, I mean, he's a very good free throw shooter. So, yeah, I would say the pull-ups against the drops and then the free throws.
Hey, Coach, a couple of days ago, we spoke. I asked you, what does the team need to do to put a full 48 minutes of play together?
Yeah.
Do you feel like this might be the closest they've been to putting together a full game?
That's what I told them at halftime. I told them the way we started this game is probably the best that we've started a game so far this season. And then the first half was really good defensive effort, and that's how we have to be, especially against these really good teams.
With Jae'Sean, are you seeing him attack the rim a lot more this year and just almost just driving into defenders and not being worried about the contact?
He's much, much stronger. He spent all summer working on his body, and I think last year we saw him kind of going in there and bouncing off people and kind of flying because he wasn't as strong as he is now, but he's stronger, and that helps you when you're going downhill and you can hold position and you find contact. So yeah.
It was a play about, I think, 3 or 4 minutes left, and Chris left his feet and Jae'Sean read it on the backside. I could tell you know which play I mean.
Yeah.
And it was like Kevin Porter Jr. on that lob on Sunday.
Right.
Is that the growth that we're seeing, is recognition on those kind of plays?
It for sure is. I mean, they ran a high pick and roll, and there was a baseline screen, and there was a guy running out, and Jae'Sean pointed to Jabari and said, "I got him," and we stayed. And everybody knew who they were guarding and where they were supposed to be, and the communication was great, and that's a big-time growth play for our team.
I think I counted on Media Day probably 5 different players or so that said that they hit the weight room in the offseason specifically to help this team get better on defense. How cool is it to start seeing that really come together?
Yeah, it's great. It's great. I mean, we have a very good performance team. Led by Willie Cruz, and the guys enjoy going in there. They have great energy. Antoine Floyd as well has great energy. And, if you like to go into the weight room, if they make it a good place to be and the music's going and they see the results like you're talking about, then that's good for offense, defense, everything. But we do have really good staff in that area.
I know things are certainly going to be tough for you for a while, but does being back in basketball, doing what you love, make it easier at all to go through this?
I don't know if it makes it easier or not, but my dad was a coach, and he would have told me to coach. He would have told me to get your butt out there and coach. So that's what I'm doing.
Talked a lot about you. Go ahead, Bob. What do you make of the dominance you guys had on the glass tonight, specifically from Sengun, who had 16 boards?
Yeah, we've been rebounding all season, especially on the offensive end. So that's one of the main things that we've been trying to do. They did a very, very good job on the offensive rebounds for them. Our defensive rebounding wasn't great, but well, I guess we got 50 of them, but yeah, that's one of the things that we really try to do is rebound the ball on both ends of the floor.
We've talked a lot about the way you all started the season as far as the traveling is concerned, and now you're back home, another win at home. Did that help prepare you all to be able to go on the stretch that you're on now and for later on when you have to go back on the road for those long stretches?
I think it did. I think it helped. You know, we went through some big time adversity, and you really find out who a person is through adversity. So being on the road as much as we were and going through those tough patches where we were played great for 3 quarters and then 3.5 quarters and then lose down the stretch, built a lot of kind of unity amongst our group, and we're already a competitive group. But yeah, when you go through adversity like that, it does bring the group together. And then when you get home, you're like, it's good to be home.
Sorry to go back to this, but for a guy like Monty to embrace you that way and the others that followed, how do you feel when that kind of thing happens?
Yeah, Monty's like, I mean, everybody knows he's like one of the best people in the world, and it means a lot for him. You know, he's been through so much, and has so many like little tidbits and so many experiences that he draws from, but he has a great way of communicating. And tonight his way of communicating was through a hug, which I needed. And I love him for that. He's a good man.
Oftentimes with young teams, you'll see breakdowns defensively that'll lead to dunks and open threes. Are those some of the things that have been cleaned up, do you think, the last couple of games?
We're giving up some shots that are, you know, teams haven't been shooting well the last few games, but we are forcing teams to not get into the paint. How many paint points do they have? 30. Not get into the paint, which is allowing us to get to closeouts and contest those shots a little bit better. So I think it's our ability to kind of help and recover that's making it a little bit tougher for teams to get those open looks.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you.